Alright, so it's been like 2 months since I've actually been on here making videos, but there's reasons for that. I'm standing in a brand new warehouse right now. It's literally double the size of our old one, and we've got to fit it out. Like, we're running a business over here. We're busy, I don't have time to always make content, but I did say upon my return that unless I have something substantial to talk about, that's when I'm gonna make a video. And that's what I'm doing here right now, standing in this completely empty warehouse with no product in it yet. We actually get a shipment in on Monday. So, yeah. But this video is not in relation to anything about this warehouse at all. Before I move forward here, I'm gonna give you guys a massive trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about death in this video. And if you're someone who has experienced a lot of that in life and you can't handle this topic, click out of the video right now. I promise you that it's not for you, and I promise you that you're not ready to hear this yet. But if you are someone who has experienced a lot of death in your life and you wanna learn how to navigate it a little bit better, then stick around. You're looking at someone right now who grew up without a father because my father thought it was a good idea to take himself away from this world. My mother's passed away, almost every single one of my best friends have passed away, and as I'm filming this, I am processing the death of a childhood friend right now. So I figured, what better time to speak about it than now? And yeah, the very first time that it ever happened, I'm not gonna front, I was a mess for years. Like, probably the first substantial person to die in my life, I would have to say is my Nana. And that happened when I was really, really young and I did not know what was going on. Like, I properly didn't know what was going on. I was 11 years old. One day my grandmother was there, and then one day she wasn't. I couldn't make sense of it. And that's like common. It's a very common thing when it comes to losing someone that you love, losing someone that you care about, losing family that's really family. Like, I promise you, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Like, if you're lost, we are too. That's the best way for me to put it. So when it comes to the death of someone that you really love and care about, the way that you're gonna process it is a direct link to how you already view the world. And I know you're sitting there like, oh, here we go, Chase is already bringing it back around to this spiritual stuff, but like, I hate to break it to you, it's what it is. Like, if hearing that frustrates you, I do apologize, but I also don't apologize at the same time, because if it frustrates you now, give it like 5 more years of life experience and you'll just wake up one day and realize all the same shit that I did. But as I was saying, your ability to process the death of someone that you care about is directly linked to your view of the entire world. So if you're someone that when you lose something, that's the place that you dwell in, then you are going to have a hard time when someone that you care about passes away. Like, you're gonna have a real hard time because it's gonna be really hard for you to go into your mind and not feel like you lost something. Now, here's where it gets a bit difficult because it does take a lot of mental diet. Like, I experienced probably 5 deaths while I was trying to obtain the mindset that I currently have surrounding just the entire world in general. But in my time of living, the more that I actually move forward in my life, it becomes more and more undeniable that every single thing that you see in front of you here on planet Earth is connected. There's actually no way about it, and your opposing opinion is not relevant. Everything is connected. So now that you're starting to venture down that idea that every single thing in the world is connected to one, you should be able to shift your mind into an area where you can almost feel them even more than when they were physically standing in front of you. Because this thing that you see right here, this stuff right here, all this, what was that? I think someone just, you good, G? I have no idea what just happened, but back to the video. As I was saying, every single thing that you see here right in front of you on the camera, the skin, the eyes, all that, that is literally just a body. Like, you are so much more than just a body occupying space on the planet. You're here for a reason. Like, we're all here for a reason. And that's where I personally find that people just get things misconstrued. So what I'm saying there is, like, the moment that they realize that, like, their friend or their parent or their teacher or anyone is going to be lowered into the ground or cremated, that's them losing them forever. But I'm telling you right now, I have had a handful of people that I've lost in the last like 15 years where I promise you, and this is no fabrication whatsoever, you're probably watching this video right now thinking that I'm absolutely insane, but there are some people who I lost over 15 years ago that I have better conversations with today than I ever did with them when they were actually physically here. Now, I don't want you to think that there's no such thing as grieving. Like, I'm currently grieving while I'm actually filming this video. Like I said, I'm processing the death of someone that I grew up with. The news just landed at my door on Thursday. Like, It was like literally 4 days ago. But there has to come a moment, even if you don't feel like you're in control of it, where you will step back and realize that you haven't actually lost anything. So now it's time to take a step into the idea of thought transference, right? So this is an absolutely mind-blowing thing to actually jump into, but we're gonna do it because it links directly into the reason why you think about people even when they're not here. So the idea of thought transference, right? I'm gonna give you guys a very basic example. Let's say that you got out of the most toxic relationship that you have ever been in. Now let's say at the end of that relationship you actually decided to do the actual inner work that it takes to heal. During that journey of healing, you should absolutely become aware of what thoughts belong to you and which ones don't. So now that you've got that foundation, thought transference becomes very easy to notice, right? So even though I'm gonna use my friend Craig, for example. Rest in peace, Craig. Anyone that watches my videos back home will know exactly who I'm talking about when I mention Craig. Oh man, it's hard for me to not talk about him right now after mentioning his name, but I just have to use him as an example right now. So Craig, for example, right? Now, I have had a lot of time to actually process that he is no longer physically with us. And I can think back on Craig and think about nothing but good memories, right? So now that 2 years has gone by ever since the situation actually happened, I start to think about Craig less and less, but that doesn't mean that I don't think about him. Now remember the beginning of this video, I told you guys the last 2 months I've literally been like signing leases, getting a new warehouse, trying to set things up for the business. Like life goes on, even after they die. So as my life is getting busier, I get these random moments where I'm just like, man, I wonder how Craig's doing. But the reality is, I'm actually not thinking about Craig. He's trying to contact me. And I know, you're watching this video right now being like, bro, what kind of a nut job have you evolved into? But I'm telling you, that's how it works. We all come from the literal same place. We are all one. We're all connected. So whether or not he is here actually talking shit to me physically in front of me or in another realm, the moment his spirit thinks about me, I feel it. And I find peace in that. So instead of me sitting here just allowing myself to dwell in the idea that Craig is no longer with us, every time he crosses my mind, I get assurance in my heart that he still cares about me. And it provides a safe place for me to maybe take that step forward that I've been putting off for the last 2 years since I heard the news. Because at the end of the day, if you have goals and aspirations in your life, even the death of your best friend should not stop you from traveling down your path. And yes, that sounds so harsh. I understand that. That's a very common theme in my videos. If I'm not saying some harsh shit to you, am I really making a video? I could have jumped in front of this camera and just been like, yo, the easiest way for you to navigate death is just to get over it. Because when you actually dissect what I'm saying here right now, it is the path to getting over it. I just show up to the table with a completely different perspective of how I actually view the world. And yeah, you can sit here and 100% say, yo, bro, like you are actually crazy for thinking the way that you're thinking. But at the end of the day, I'm able to process death and you're not. So, I don't know. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing and I'm gonna keep teaching what I'm teaching because I have seen the improvement in the people that have come under my wing to learn the way that I live. And I'm telling you right now, you will not meet many more people that have had more people die in their life than me. Anyone who knows me on a personal level knows that that has been ingrained in my life literally since I was 1 year old. That's when my father decided it was time to go. So it's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember it, and I honestly feel like a part of my personal journey was to learn how to get over the death of loved ones and teach them to people that you also love. So here I am. Here I am. Do your best, your absolute best, to recognize as fast as you can that there is nothing on this planet that you are not connected to. No matter how different you think they are from you, and no matter how similar you think they are from you, no matter what, you are connected to them in the exact same way. Because like I said in previous videos, even people that you don't like, all they are is a mirror. All they do is stand in front of you and show you all the parts about yourself that you don't like, but half the population thinks it's easy to point the finger at them. Not the way to live. Definitely not the way to live. So I do want to close out this video by just more or less saying that if you're someone who's watching this video right now or this Instagram reel or whatever, and you've currently gone through some hard loss, I understand, and I'm here for you. I might not be physically there for you, but I'm here for you through content like this. I've been there. I understand it. I understand it better than most, if I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a very serious subject in my life, and it's also a big part of the reason why I take things as seriously as I do. I have so many friends that tell me all the time, like, bro, like, you take some things seriously, bro. Like, you got a bit of a, like, all or nothing personality. And more recently, I've actually come to realize that, yeah, I do have an all or nothing personality, and that's because my life has always been real. You don't get to 36 having the experience in life that I personally have without coming out the other side with a sense of humbleness. Like, life has humbled me so many times ever since I moved to Melbourne. Like I said, the floor of my life has fallen out from underneath me at least 12 times since I've moved out here. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm pretty sure it was 10 times when I came back like 4 or 5 months ago. Guess what? My life has fallen out from under me twice since then. But we still move forward. Stop allowing your mind to trap you in this victim mentality, because really ask yourself this question, and this is how I'm gonna close out the video. If you could talk to the person that you lost right now, and you told them everything that you're struggling with, would they tell you to keep struggling, or would they try and get into the trenches with you and help you dig out? Really take that into consideration, because even though you can't physically see them, I promise you, that's what they want you to do. So again, anyone who's ever lost anyone, I do apologize. I know the feeling all too well, and I promise you, it always gets better. And if it doesn't look like it's gonna get better today, I promise you, when you wake up tomorrow, you have another chance. So every day you wake up, take that chance. Don't sell yourself short. I love every single one of you who tune in. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Feel like I never put my heart out. You don't know the feeling sleeping in your dog's house. I need some ends for all the pain I'm getting past now. That rich smoke will do these arts, this ain't passed down. Yeah, the truth first.